Okay, we will start the session now. In the today's session, we are going to start with the dynamic analysis. Okay, we are going to start with the dynamic analysis. We are going to start with the dynamic analysis, right? So in this dynamic analysis, we are going to first deal with the free axial vibration, free axial vibration, free axial vibration of rod. We are going to deal with the first free axial vibration of the rod, right? So see, what basically we are interested is, we are interested to solve the governing differential equation for the axial vibration of the rod, okay? And we are going to end with the mass matrices. We are going to end with mass matrices, right? So we start, okay? So see, the governing differential equation, try to understand the governing differential equation, the governing differential equation for axial vibration of the rod, for the axial vibration of the rod is given by okay, so what is the governing differential equation for the axial vibration of the rod? It is given by A into E into dou square U by dou x square is equal to rho into A into dou square U by dou t square. Okay, so this is the governing differential equation for the axial vibration of the rod. Okay, see, when we have seen the Rayleigh-Ritz method, okay, in that case also we have done the same thing, right? So this is the governing differential equation for the axial vibration of the rod, right? Now see, if I need to separate this variable, if you can see this equation, it contains two variables, one is x and second is t. So basically you can say that this u is a function of x and t, right? This u is a function of x and t. Now if you need to separate these two variables, that is x and t, okay, you need to define one function, okay, that is a function of x. So I will define u to be the function of x, okay, and I will write down one more term which is a function of t, that is e raised to power minus I omega t. Try to understand. If you can see here, this u is a function of x and t. This you can see here, this u or this u, this is the function of x and t. So this u is a function of x and t. Now I need to separate these two variables. Okay, so I will write down one term which is basically the function of x, and I will write down one term which is a function of t. Okay, that is e raised to power minus I omega t. Right? Now see, if you can see in this equation, okay, so let me write down, these are the equation number one. What is expected in this equation? I need the partial derivative of u with respect to x, right? I required, okay, partial double derivative, okay, partial double derivative of u with respect to x, right? So what I will do, I will calculate dou u by dou x first. Okay, so I'll calculate dou u by dou x. Now differentiate this term with respect to x. See, this is u. See, this is u term. This is u term. Now you differentiate u partially with respect to x, right? So see, if you can see this term is only the function of x. So I will differentiate only this term. Okay, so I will write down this as, okay, du by dx into e raised to power minus I omega t, du by dx into e raised to power minus I omega t. See, you might face that, sir, you are taking partial derivative, then why you are written full derivative? If you can see these two terms, one term contains x, that is basically the function of x, and second term contains t, that is, this term is basically the function of t. Now I need to take the derivative of this term with respect to x. So I will do this term is a constant value because it doesn't contain x. So I will keep as it is. I will differentiate only this term with respect to x. Is it okay? Is it okay with this one? Let me know. Now, what is the double derivative? I require dou square u by dou x square. Okay, what is the double derivative? That means you need to differentiate this term one more time, right? So dou square u by dou x square is given by double derivative. Obviously, you need to differentiate this term only. So this is d square u by dx square, d square u by dx square into e raised to power minus I omega t. Right? Yes or no? Let me call this as equation number 2. I will take double derivative. So obviously I need to differentiate this term only. Okay, so I'll differentiate it that. This term I kept it as it is, right? Now second thing I need to calculate dou u by dou t. Second thing which I need to calculate, it is dou u by dou t. Okay, so I will calculate here. Okay, so let me do it here only. Okay, I will calculate now dou u by dou t. Okay, what is dou u by dou t? Dou u by dou t. Now you differentiate this term with respect to t. Now you can see this term, it is a function of x, and as it is, so I will write down this only as u. Okay, u. I will not write down x. Ux I will not write down because it is understood that u is the function of x. So I will write down only u. Now I need the derivative of this term, right? I need the derivative of this term. What is the derivative of e raised to power minus I omega t? Okay, it is e raised to power minus I omega t as it is, and derivative of the term, okay, which we are considered as x, that is minus I omega, right? That is minus I omega. Is it okay? Right? Next, I need dou square u by dou t square. I need dou square u by dou t square. So again, u I will keep as it is. This term I will keep it as it is, e raised to omega t. See, try to understand. What is the derivative of this e raised to power minus I omega t? It is obviously e raised to power minus I omega t, okay, into minus I omega into this minus I omega, right? So this becomes minus I omega square. Is it okay? Is it okay with this one? See, this, it's a constant value. It is to be written as it is. Derivative of e raised to power minus I omega t is e raised to power minus I omega t into minus I omega, right? So this becomes minus I omega square. Is it okay? Yes or no? So what you will get here? What you will get here? Now tell me what you will get here. Tell me. See, you will get it as u, right? U, okay, e raised to power minus I omega t, u e raised to power minus I omega t, okay, minus I square, it's I square, omega square is omega square, right? So you know that I square is minus 1, right? So I will write down this as minus v omega square e raised to power minus I omega t, okay, minus v minus square e raised to power minus I omega t. So let me call this as equation number 3. Is it okay with this one or not? Tell me. Is it okay with this one?
Yes, sir.
Right? So we got this equation number 2, we got the equation number 3, right? That means we got the value of dou square u by dou x square, we got the value of dou square u by dou t square. Now we need to put these values. Okay, so I'll write down here. Putting equation 2 and 3 in equation 1. I will put this equation 2 and 3 in equation number 1. So what I will get? I'll get AE I have written as it is dou square u by dou x square. What is the value of dou square u by dou x square? It is this value, right? It is written as d square u. This is d square u by dx square into e raised to power minus I omega t. Okay, this is written is equal to rho into a dou square u by dou t square. This is the value. Okay, and what is that value? It is minus u omega square e raised to power minus I omega t. Right? This is the value. Now see, so this equation I am going to write down as it is. Okay, so I'm going to write it as a into e into d square u by dx, d square u by dx square. Okay, now if you can see, e raised to power minus I omega t, e raised to power minus I omega t. It is on either side, so they will get cancelled, right? This minus sign is there, so just bring this entire term on the left hand side, so it becomes plus. So what you will get? You will get it as rho into omega square into u is equal to 0, is equal to 0. Okay, so let me call this as equation number 4. Is right? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Right, now see, we are basically interested to solve this equation. See, what we need to do, we need to solve this governing differential equation, right? So how we will solve this governing differential equation? Tell me how to solve this governing differential equation. How will solve equation 4 by which method? We have seen this method, na Rayleigh-Ritz method, yes or no? By Rayleigh-Ritz method. Okay, we need to solve this equation number 4 by using Rayleigh-Ritz method mapped over general element. Okay, mapped over general element. See, when we have seen the Rayleigh-Ritz method, in that we have solved one problems. Okay, where one governing differential equation was, see, I will show you. Okay, I will show you. Okay, so see here, we can quickly remind. Okay, see here, all of you just see, when we have seen this Rayleigh-Ritz method during this our previous lectures. Okay, we have solved it, the two problems based on it. We have solved basically two problems based on it. Okay, so I will show those problems to you. I will show those problems to you. All of you, can you see this problem? This problem, Rayleigh-Ritz method mapped over general element.
Yes, sir.
What was the governing differential equation was there? D by dx of AE du by dx. Can you, all of you? Can you see this equation? D by dx of, this was the governing differential equation. D by dx of AE du by dx is equal to 0. That we have solved, right? Yes or no? After that, we have solved one more equation. Can you see this? Dou square, see here, dou square theta by dou x square minus m square theta is equal to 0. Is it okay with this one?
Yes,
right?
sir.
Now see, what I need to show you is, see, if you can see here, when we solve this equation d by dx of AE du by dx is equal to 0, what result we obtained? Can you see this result? All of you, just see this result. What we have got, this EME, right? We got the EME. AE by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 U1 U2 is equal to F1 F2. See, this is nothing but what we got. We got this EME, na? At the end, we got this EME, right? On the similar manner, solve this equation, dou square theta by dou x square minus m square theta is equal to 0. Okay, so at the end, what we got? Just see here, what we got here. Can you see this? Again, we got EME, right? Clear? So in the similar manner, if you solve this equation, we are not basically going to solve this equation now. This has been already practiced in the previous sessions, right? So we will solve this governing differential equation by using Rayleigh-Ritz method. And when you solve it, okay, the EME in this manner, okay, AE by L, okay, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, U1 U2 minus rho A minus rho A L by 6 minus rho A omega square into 2 1 1 2 into 2 1 1 2 into U1 U2 into U1 U2 is given by F1, F2 is given by F1, F2. Okay, so when you solve this equation by this particular equation number 4 by using Rayleigh's method, this solution, right? So that basically means what? See, if you can see this term, it is basically the element stiffness matrix. See, this is nothing but called as EME, element matrix equation. This is called as element matrix equation. This is called as element stiffness matrix, right? Into displacement minus see this particular term, try to understand. If you want, we can write down this omega square here. Okay, so minus omega square into m, minus omega square into m, okay, into displacement is given by force. Here you might not understand. Okay, see this stiffness matrix. What is stiffness matrix? E by L 1 minus 1, right? This is the element stiffness matrix, right? Now see, if you this, what is U? It's U1 U2, right? Now omega square it is here only, right? Now what is this mass matrix? This mass matrix, okay, is given by rho A L by 6 into 2 1 1 2 into 2 1 1 2 1 1 2. This is called as mass matrix, where M is called as mass matrix. Have you understood this one? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Right? So see, this is basically the mass matrix what we got. Okay, so by using this governing differential equation for the axial vibration of the rod, okay, initially we have separated those into in terms of two variables x and t. Okay, then we have that equation we have solved by using Rayleigh's method. So we are going to end with the mass matrices. We are going to end with the mass matrices. Okay, now let's see. Again, see, there are two types of mass matrices. Same equation you can again get by using the method which I am going to tell you now. Okay, there are two types of mass matrices. Okay, one it is called as consistent mass matrices. See, one it is called as consistent mass matrices. See, I will write down here. One it is called as consistent mass matrices. Okay, what is the meaning of consistent? See, it is assumed that mass it is equally distributed throughout the length. That is called as consistent mass matrices. When the mass is assumed to be consistently distributed throughout the element, it is called as consistent. Now see, if I need to write down the formula for mass matrices, see what is basically density? Can you tell me what is density? In the rough I will do. What is density? Density is given by mass by volume. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now then, what is the mass? Mass is given by density into volume. Is it okay? Mass is given by density into volume. So what I will write down? I will write down mass as, see, try to understand. I will write down mass as density into volume. Try to understand. I will write down mass as density into volume. Okay, but instead of writing total volume, I will write down small volume, and that small volume I will be integrating for total volume. Okay, I will write down it as a dV, and dV I will integrate for a total volume, that is V, right? Is it okay? Mass is equal to density into volume. This is written as a dV. Okay, what is the integration of dV? It's V, right? The integration of dV is V. That's why I written this integration, right? Now see, here I will add one more term. It is given by, okay, N transpose into N. Try to understand. It is written as N transpose into N. Now see, you know that transpose of any matrix multiplied by that matrix will be how much equal to 1, right? And see, N transpose multiplied by N, it is obviously equal to 1, right? So your equation remains unchanged, right? Now question will be what is N? Okay, so that I will let you now only. Now see, so E is equal to, now I will try to refine this equation. Okay, see here all of you. So I will write down this as integration. Try to understand. Integration, density I've written as it is. Density I've written as it is, right? Now, NT I've written as it is. Okay. N again I've written as it is. See, density I've written as it is, NT I've written as it is, N I've written as it is. Now what is volume? What is volume? Can you tell me? It is area. It is area into thickness. Yes or no? Volume, it is nothing but area into thickness. But thickness I've taken it as a small thickness that I'm going to integrate for its value starting from 0 to L. Right? So it is to A into L, but I have written as what? A into dx. Integration of dx is x, and limit for x is 0 to L, that is L minus 0, that is equal to L. Is it okay? Is it okay with this one?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now see, now question will be what is NT and what is N? Okay, see, as you know, N, it is always known as shape functions. See, in the previous lecture only, we have taken some numericals based on these shape functions, right? Okay, see, if you are not able to remember it, just here. See, we are seeing multiple problems. We see here N1, N2, N3, all these are shape functions, right? Yes or no? Are you able to remember shape functions? See this.
Yes,
What is
sir.
N1, N2, N3, N4? See here. In every this problem, we have derived the shape functions. We have calculated the shape functions. So N1, N2, N3, N4, they are nothing but the shape functions. You can see here N1, N2, N3, N1, N2, N3, N4. They are what? Shape functions, right? So this is basically the bar element, right? This is basically the bar element, okay, and which are having two nodes, right? Which are having two nodes. Okay, so for bar element, okay, the shape function n, okay, the shape function n is given by, can you remember the shape function for 1D bar element? How many shape functions do you have for bar element? 1D bar element, 1D linear bar element. See, what is 1D? It's a line element, right? 1D, it's a line element. And what is a linear? It's the line element with two nodes, right? Line elements with two nodes, right? Let me go back, okay, and show you that we have derived those, right? We have derived those. Okay, so just see here. We have derived those shape functions. See, you need to just can you see it now? See, this is a line element with two nodes. How many shape functions you have? Can you see those? How many shape functions you have? See, obviously there are two nodes, so there will be two shape functions. One is N1, one is x bar by LE, and second is x bar by LE. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Can you see this? It is 1 minus x bar by LE. This is the first shape function, and second function is x bar by LE. Is it okay? Right? So see here, all of you. So this is what is written. N1 and N2 it is written, right? Now let's put these values and let's solve. Okay, now let's solve this equation. Let's put this value here. So what I will get? I'll get a mass matrix equal, mass matrix is equal to, okay, rho and A, they are constant values, so I'll take it out. Rho and A, integration 0 to L, integration 0 to, see, rho and A, it is constant value, are taken out, integration 0 to L. Okay, transpose of this matrix. Okay, transpose of this matrix I need to write down. Okay, so what is the transpose? It is 1 minus x bar by LE. Okay, and here I will get x bar by L. Is it okay? X bar by L. This is a transpose, right? This is the transpose into N. So this matrix I need to write down as it is. So I'll write down that matrix. 1 minus x bar by LE and x bar by LE and x bar by LE. Okay, rho into A. See, rho into A into transpose of N into dx, right? Into dx. So that is what is written. Is it okay? So what we'll do, we'll put those values row into A, 0 to LE, 0 to LE, right? Now we need to multiply it, right? So this row into, see, this row into this column, we need to do that, right? So I will do it. Okay, 1 minus x bar by LE into 1 minus x bar by LE. So what you'll get? You'll get 1 minus x bar square by x bar by LE square, right? Next, this into this. Okay, so you'll get 1 minus, see here, you'll get 1 minus x bar by LE, okay, into x bar by LE, right? Next, this into this. So this is x bar by LE into x bar by LE into 1 minus x bar by LE, right? Next, into this. So this becomes x bar by LE, its whole square. Is it okay? Into dx, right? Is it okay? So what I will do
Yes, sir.
now, we need to split it. So row A, row into A, integration LE, right? Now let's split it. Let's split that. 1 square, okay, I'll write down 1 square is 1. Okay, next, minus was twice of this into this, right? So minus 2 x bar by LE, okay, plus x bar square by LE square, plus x bar square by LE square, right? Next, here, okay, what you'll get? You'll get x bar by LE minus x bar square by LE square, right? By LE square. Next, here, again, same will get x bar by LE minus x bar square by LE square, x bar square by LE square. Next, this one, right? This is only remaining. So what I'll get? I'll get x bar square by LE square, okay? Now let's do the integration, right? Now let's do the integration. Yeah, so let's do it. How to do the integration? Can you tell me? Huh? Row into A, 0 to LE, row into A, 0 to LE. Okay, now let's integrate it. Now let's integrate this. Okay, can we do the integration? How to do the integration? What is the integration of 1? What is the integration of 1? It is x bar, right? Minus 2 by LE as it is. Minus 2 by LE as it is. What is the integration of x bar? It is x bar square by 2, right? Plus 1 by LE square as it is. Integration of x bar square. It's x bar cube by 3. Okay, next here. Okay, I will write down this. 1 by LE as it is. 1 by LE as it is. Integration of x bar. It's x bar square by 2 minus 1 by LE square as it is. Integration of x bar square is x bar cube by 3, right? Next, here, right? See this bar, 1 by LE as it is. Integration of x bar, it's x bar square by 2 minus 1 by LE square as it is. Integration of x bar square, it's x bar cube by 3, right? Next, this term, 1 by LE square as it is. Integration of x bar square is x bar cube by 3. Is it okay? Right? But see, when we are done the integration, as I told you, you do the integration. So you need to give the limits here, 0 to LE. So this limits gets cancelled, right? Because we already integrated, right? We have integrated. Okay. So this is 0 to LE. Right? So what we'll get? Just check it here. We'll get row into A, right? Row into A. See here, row into A. What we'll get? See, let's put these values. Now we need to put x bar as LE first. Okay, x bar. Is it okay or not? You put X bar as LE. Just put X bar as LE. Okay, or L, LE or L. So I'll put that value. So that is L. See, this is L minus 2 by LE. Otherwise, let's put LE. Okay. This is X bar is LE. So LE minus 2 by LE. Okay, into X bar is LE square by 2 plus 1 by LE square. Okay, LE cube by 3, right? LE cube by 3. Instead of X bar, I will put it as LE. Here you will get 1 by LE, 1 by LE. X bar is LE square by 2, right? LE square by 2 minus 1 by LE square, LE cube by 3, LE cube by 3, right? Next, here 1 by LE, 1 by LE, LE square by 2 minus 1 by LE square, LE cube by 3, LE cube by 3, right? Next here, 1 by LE square, 1 by LE square, LE cube by 3, LE cube by 3. Okay, see, I will not put this zero limit, but you know that when you do it as a zero, see 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, this is again 0, 0, 0, right? So there is no point in putting the limits as 0. Obviously, you will get it as 0, right? Is it okay? Is it okay with this one? Let me know. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So let's see what we will get here now. Rho into A, right? See, what we'll get here now? See, here it is LE. 2 gets cancelled. Here it is again LE, right? See, 2 gets cancelled. Here it is LE square by 2. Here it is LE. So you'll get only LE. So LE minus LE gets cancelled. What is remaining here? It's LE by 3, right? What is remaining here? It's LE by 3. Is it okay? LE by 3. Next, go here. What do you have here? LE by 2 minus LE by 3, right? LE by 2 minus LE by 3 you will get, right? That is nothing but LE by 6, right? LE by 6. Just check here again here. LE by 2 minus LE by 3, you will get it as LE by 6, right? Here LE by 3. Here you will get LE by 3. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Let me know. So E is equal to can I take rho A LE by 6, rho A LE by 6 common? So what I'll get? I'll get it as rho A LE by 6 2 1 1 2, right? When I take rho A LE by 6, that means if I take LE by 6 common from each of the term, I will get rho A LE by 6 2 1 1 2, right? So see, similar sort of matrix just a time before we are got in this expression. Yes or no? Rho A L by 6 2 1 1 2. Same matrix. See here. Rho A L by 6. See, rho A L by 6 2 1 1 2. Same here. Rho A L by 6 2 1 1 2. Right? So see, this matrix it is called as consistent mass matrices. See, this matrix just a time before, okay, just now which we have derived. See, this is called as consistent mass matrices. So if you take this value of consistent mass matrices, okay, then it is understood that you have assumed that the mass is consistently distributed throughout the element. The mass is consistently divided throughout the element. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay to each of you? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Now see, as I told you, this is the one concept of consistent mass matrices, right? There is one more concept that is called as lumped mass matrices. See, this is one more concept. This is called as lumped mass matrices. Lumped mass matrices. Now, what is that lumped mass matrices? See, try to understand. In lumped mass matrices, okay, it is assumed that the mass is equally distributed over its nodes. The mass is equally distributed over its nodes. See, if you talk about consistent, the mass is consistently distributed throughout the element. It is consistently distributed throughout the element. But if you talk about lumped mass matrices, mass it is assumed to be equally distributed, okay, over its nodes. Is it okay? So see here now, let's consider this element, right? Let's consider this element, okay, with the two nodes, node 1 and node number 2. So this element which is having basically two nodes, node number 1 and node number 2. Okay, so as I told you, how will calculate the total mass of the element? Okay, mass density is given by mass by volume. So mass is density into volume. Okay, so that means total mass is equal to density into volume. So volume it is nothing but area into length. Right? So this rho AL, it is distributed equally at each node. So out of this rho AL, okay, obviously the rho AL by 2 will go to node 1, okay, and rho AL by 2 will go to node 2. Is it okay? Is it okay or not? Right? Total mass was rho AL. So out of rho AL by 2 will go to node 1 and rho AL by 2 will go to node 2. Is it okay with this one or not?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, see, if you need to write down the matrix for that, right? If you need to write down the matrix for that, see, this is a mass matrix, consistent mass matrix. This is consistent mass matrix. If you want, I will write down here. This is called as consistent mass. This is called as consistent mass matrix. Okay, this is called as consistent mass matrix. Mass matrix for lump. Okay, lump system. So here it is given by rho AL by 2. Here it is 0. Then here it is 0 and rho AL by 2. Rho AL by 2. So if I take rho AL by 2, okay, common, what I will get? Rho AL by 2, 1, 0, 0, 1. And this particular matrices, it is called as lumped mass matrix. This is called as lumped mass matrix. Is it okay? Yes or not? This is consistent and this is lump. In lump, it is assumed that mass it is distributed equally at every node. Okay, so it is distributed equally at every node. So this is lump mass matrices. And whatever the mass matrix that you got, this is a consistent mass matrices. By using the derivation of shape functions, which we got, it's a consistent mass matrices. And in lump, it is very simple. Lump, it is very simple. Whatever the mass it is there, you distribute equally at every node. Okay, so that is nothing but a lump mass matrix. Is it okay? Is it okay with this one? Okay.
Yes, sir.
See, if you can see this equation. In this equation, what you written? You written M. So see, if you put this value of M, that is rho AL by 62112, then this approach it is called as consistent approach. See, if you put this value of M, as rho AL by 62112, then you will get this frequency omega by using consistent mass matrices. But if you put this M as this value, that is rho AL by 2, 1001, if you put this value of M, see, instead of putting this value of M, if you put this value of M, that is rho AL by 2, 1001, you will get the natural frequency, which is calculated by using lump mass matrices. Try to understand, right? Have you understood this? If this value of M, if you put it as rho AL by 62112, okay, if this value of M, you put it this value as rho AL by 62112, that means this value, rho AL by 62112, then you will get natural frequency by using consistent mass matrices. On the similar hand, instead of putting this value of M, if you put this value of M, that is rho AL by 2, 1001, then you will get a natural frequency by using lump mass matrices. Is it okay? Is it okay to you?
Yes, sir.
Now see, so what is changed in this equation is just you can vary the value of mass matrices. Okay, if you consider that mass matrices as a consistent, take this value rho L by 6 2 1 1 2, this value, right? Rho L by 6 2 1 1 2. If you assume that mass matrices as a lump mass matrices, then you take this value rho L by 2 1 0 0 1, right? So is it okay to each of you,
Yes, sir.
right? So see, so in this today's lecture, we have covered the free axial vibration of rod, and in that we have derived the consistent and lump mass matrices. So in the next lecture, we will solve the problem based on the same. Okay, is that clear?